Ẹ ṣé o, ẹ má ṣe. Hello, good evening. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, from wherever you're watching from. Welcome to the Live Again series. I'm happy to be back. Yeah, I am very, very happy to be back again with the Live Again series. It's been every week, back to back, and God has strengthened me. And we've had different guests come in and just share practical steps to living again. And it's been a blessing back to back. Different people with different kinds of unique stories just coming to share practical steps to live again. And it's been amazing. Welcome, Queen. Welcome, Chick Hub. Welcome, Therapist Roundtable. Okay, so I'm expecting my guest. Okay, she's here. Let me just bring her up immediately. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Yes, my guest is live. Come
Hi.
on, the DA herself. The one and only.
Hi. You succeeded in bringing me here after 2 years.
Yes, yes. In short, let us rephrase it. I considered in dragging. Welcome, DA. So
Hi.
good to see your face. So good to see your face. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic, fantabulous. Hi, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever in the world you are watching me from. My name is Enifomen. I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again. And tonight, this is the Live Again series, and I have the honor of bringing the one and only. Ha! Oh my goodness. Please, ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening to me, I'm about to introduce the amazing Dele Amaebite. She is the visionary, she is the founder, she is the lead coach of Idea Woman Coaching with a diverse background encompassing accounting, business administration, marketing, and global resource management. Patience Dele Amaebite offers affordable, proven, and downloadable digital products tailored to expedite the achievements of life, business, and financial goals. In addition to her professional roles, Patience wears multiple hats as a pastor, author, coach, mentor, thought leader, speaker, marketing educator, and launch expert. Her academic achievements include a BSc in accounting, MBA in business administration, MSc in global human resource management, and MSc in international management marketing applied. Despite facing numerous obstacles, and that is why she's here. That's why she's here tonight.
Mhm.
Despite facing numerous obstacles, personal setbacks, and battling depression, Patience's resilience has propelled her to success. Over just 4 years, she has established a thriving business that serves as a beacon of inspiration to many. Please help me welcome my guest, my sister from another mother. Hey, please welcome Dele Amaebite. I hope I'm getting your name because I have Calabari friends and River State friends. They will not
Yes.
forgive me because they've been teaching me every time. They'll say it's not P, it's P. They'll be giving me the pronunciation. I say I will not fall people's out today. Welcome, super welcome, DA.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
I'm excited that we're doing this. And like you said, I succeeded in bringing you here because if there are resilient women I know in my life, you're one of them. That's the simple truth. You are one of them. You have been able to, like, life has brought its own, but you've given life your own.
Yeah.
Like who
Yeah.
you be, who you be, what I'm be, what
Yeah.
I'm day. You know,
Exactly.
it's not been an easy road, but it's a road that you have been able to. Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to pick up my pen. It's not been an easy road, but it's a road that you've been able to, sail through and come back better and stronger
Yeah.
every time. In fact,
Yes.
if there's any time you're resting, or taking a break, is because you want to come back better
Yeah.
and stronger. You
So
are a resilient woman by excellence, and that's why you're here.
thank
So
you.
yes, so I'm going to jump quickly to the questions. For anybody who is just joining us, this is the Live Again series. It's a series where we feature women that are living again to help women live again. Basically, we get them to share practical steps that they took to bounce back from life's adversity and painful and difficult situations. And these steps and insights and strategies help other people who may be in the same kinds of situations or similar, because the principles are really the same. So many times when these stories are shared and insights are shared, someone else that is listening can actually take some things from there and tips and strategies to live again. And that's why we're having this series. So
Yeah.
my first question to you: what does the term live again mean to you? When you hear live again, what comes to your mind?
For me, live again is um trying to fight because we live in a world where even if you say I'm trying my best, like personally you say to yourself, I'm trying my best, I'm doing everything I need to succeed, I'm doing everything I need to be the best, there are still obstacles around you. There are still humans that will also stand as obstacles. There are still people you trust that will also stand as obstacles. So when you get to that point where it's like there is a wall, you understand, you get to that point where it seems like you can't break through. What do? You understand? So for me, live again is pushing beyond the obstacles, pushing beyond human walls, pushing beyond any walls that anyone have created. You understand? Pushing beyond it to thrive, to keep thriving, to keep living, to keep showing up. I used to tell someone, I said, showing up is not a one-time thing. Do you understand? Because situations might make you to feel depressed, to feel like you're not able to surpass a particular boundary. And most times you go back, like you're like, I can't do this. But living again means you tell yourself that I'm um, for instance, I'm patient. You call your name, you affirm your name, and you said, I can do this. You're not alone because you know you have someone greater, not human. You have someone there you can hold on to. So for me, living again is pushing because there will always be obstacles. There will always be someone that will stand as a barrier to your next level. So for me, living again is acknowledging the fact that you're going to have to break some walls to become who God has destined you to be. You need to acknowledge the fact that you're going to break through some walls to become who God has destined you to be. Now, when I talk about breaking walls, you know what your wall is. Everybody have their walls. So you need to break through some walls to become who God has destined you to be. You need to break some walls to actualize your dream. You need to break some walls to be happy again. You need to break some walls to be able to speak life to the next woman, to speak life to your child, to speak life to the next teenager God will bring your way. So it's all about breaking walls and living again.
Yeah, I'm not even surprised. Like, you see me, my head has been down. I've been writing. I've been writing because I knew that today was going to be very, very, very insightful. Thank you for sharing that. I see you mentioning walls a lot. And I think that's the reality of life. For every new level, there's a new
Yes.
devil. If you are going to cross to the next level, there are giants, there are walls. Sometimes those walls are within you, sometimes those
Yeah.
walls are external walls,
External
but a
walls.
lot of times there are walls. And you need to know that these walls are part of life. Because I think sometimes it's the presence or the realization of walls that gets people to just say, well, I beg,
I'm
I
tired. I
can't,
give up.
I
Yeah.
beg. Oh. No, the wall, the existence of the wall is not the lack of existence of the power that you carry. The
Exactly.
existence of the wall is just showing that that is what you need to cross to the next level,
For you
you know.
to go to the next level, you must fight a battle.
Mm,
For you to go, because for me, for every next level I've gone to, I fought to get to that next level. Not because
mm,
I'm not a Christian, not because I don't know God, not because I don't pray to Jesus, but I just have to fight. Why? Because the devil is like, oh, no, you can't move beyond this. Do you
mm.
understand? At times, just like you said, at times the wall is even within us. Do
Yeah,
you understand? So,
yeah.
for every achievement I had, for every next level that that was I was able to like cross over to get to the next level, I had to fight.
Mm.
I had to
You had
fight,
to fight.
my sister.
Mm,
I know what I went through around July, but we'll get to that June 2022. But I have to fight for everything, for every next achievement, because, sweetheart, the enemy is not sleeping. I don't know who the enemy is. The enemy is not that lady beside you. It might not be the next person you know. The enemy might be you.
mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you need
That's
to
it.
always fight. Yeah.
You need to fight. Sometimes, when they started the "No Grief for Anybody" slogan
Yeah.
this year, immediately I saw it. Immediately, what came to me is "No grief for yourself." Immediately, before I even started seeing people talking about "No grief for yourself," that was what came to me. But usually, when we start the year, I don't just rush into social media. I take a break, so I'm like, let me just chill. But that's what came to me. No grief for yourself, because the enemy without cannot get to you without the enemy within.
Penetrate. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a cooperation thing. It's a collaboration. It's a conspiracy. It's a joint work. The enemy without, whatever that enemy is, would need the enemy within. So if people can really just focus on getting the enemy within out and really
Yeah.
checking to see, okay, what is giving the enemy without leverage, they would find themselves pulling past every obstacle. And thank you so
Exactly.
much for sharing that angle, because I believe that walls are part of life. I personally believe that. I believe that the
Sure,
tools to,
definitely.
yeah, the tools to break the wall, jump above it, cross it, speak to it, all those things have been given to us. The thing is, do we have the resilience to? Because some walls are they differ in weight and width and dimension. I studied engineering, so I can imagine sometimes when in those days when I did some renovation, when I was doing my IT, when we had to break some walls. I remember that some walls gave us more stress, took more time, because of the strength of materials of the walls,
Definitely.
because of the
The
length,
formation, what
the
has been mixed.
formation, and many factors. Yeah. So like you said, walls differ for different people. I think one mistake women make is using somebody's wall to compare their own wall.
Definitely.
And saying, oh, but this person's wall is not. You don't know the strength of material. You don't
Sweetheart,
know.
that's why graces are different. That's
Yeah.
why phases in life are different. That's
Yeah.
why, yeah. But at the same time, God says what He's giving to us is something we will be able to bear.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
when He's giving you a stronger wall, or it feels like, oh, the challenges I'm going through is this big, and the challenges someone else is going through is this, you need to think about, where is God taking you to? What is your
Mm,
next level? So
mm.
There's no room for comparison.
Yeah, no room. It's that. I think that's why many people exist, because when they look at the size, and I think this is where God wants us to really stay on, and that's why I just keep staying here. You know, when people compare themselves and say, oh, the size of this person's wall, or the size of where I'm going, it looks like it's far when they compare themselves. Because how do you know where you are in your journey if you're not comparing? Sometimes you're like, oh, this person has gone far. Remember when I came to Instagram back in how many, like, that was 7 years ago. When I came back, I had opened an account
Yeah,
and abandoned it. You know how you are on an app like a spirit, you don't really post, but you're just there. So I came back and I saw people on the app doing great things, and by then I had failed, I had made mistakes, I had done some, made some wrong decisions. I felt like a failure because I felt everybody has gone. Where do I want to start from? And it was later I now realized that that was comparison.
yeah,
And in the order of my life and in the course of my life, God had my calendar. And so me comparing, the Bible says that they that compare themselves to themselves, they are not wise. Me comparing myself to people that, in quotes,
yeah.
had gone far, was obviously a recipe for disaster, recipe for existing, recipe for saying, I don't want to do anything. Where do I want to start from? Let me just exist. And so I like that you mentioned that comparison thing, because women, a lot of women, the reason why they don't have any drive, no spark, no zeal to live, and they just keep trying to pretend that they're fine
They're fine. Yeah.
when they're not, is because of this same comparison thing. It's still this same comparison. And I hope that someone that is listening to us can get healed of comparison, to know that the size of your wall is different. Go and meet
It's
God
different.
and
Yeah,
ask him, what are the tools I'm going to use to pull down this wall? Am I going to climb it? Am I going to speak to it? What is the strategy for my own wall? And instead of comparing
exactly.
yourself,
Yeah, because
to other women.
everybody have a book. I told someone once when I was counseling her, I said, you have a book titled your name, like, and what God has called you to be.
Mm,
And you have an introduction, you have chapter one to the end, and your book is totally different from the next person. Your
mm,
introduction, that is your starting point, is totally different. Your chapter one is totally different. Where God is taking you to when you get to the end of your book is totally different from the next person. You can't carry two books and they are the same. Do you understand? And we buy books and we read different books. Why? Because they are not the same. Even for those that like reading novels, they are not the same. The storyline might be the same, but there might be changes, different challenges, different battles you need to fight to get to your destination. So where are you going in life? Where is
where are you
your
going?
destination leading you to? The moment you start comparing, it drops down your will, it drops down your zeal, it drops down your authenticity. It reduces the power God has given you to fight your own battle. Do you understand? God
Yeah,
has given you something, you have something in the inside, but that thing is to fight your battle,
yeah,
not another person's battle, not
yeah,
another person's war.
yeah.
So you need to be able to say, Father, I know I'm going to go through certain things to make it to the end of my chapter. If your own book ends in chapter 10, to get to chapter 10,
Mm,
Father, what are the things? What are the battles I'm fighting? Somebody said David was able to have victory over Goliath with just a stone. That was his battle.
mm, mm,
If that battle wasn't for him, he wouldn't have been victorious. That
yeah,
was the battle God wanted him to fight.
mm,
So he was able to what? Subdue the enemy despite the war.
yeah.
So you need to be able to know in my life, which battle should I live and which battle am I supposed to
Should I
fight?
fight? Hmm. So that we don't expend energy for nothing.
Yes, so you don't waste your time. That's why comparison kills.
Yeah. Mm.
Nobody, let me tell you, nobody knows what you're going through when you're inside. Leave social
Mm.
media. I can come here, I can laugh, I can do makeup, I can look glamorous, put on a smiling face. But when everything is over, what are you going through inside? What can't you share with others?
Mm. Mm.
So that's what will help you to know in life that what am I fighting with? Am I fighting with myself, with my doubt, with my unbelief? Or is there something outside that I need to drop? Is there someone outside that I need to cut off? When you start doing that, that's when you start living your life. That's when you can say, okay, I'm now living. Do you understand? That's when you can say, I can live again. I can, I can, I can overcome everything gone through, and I can start to live again.
Wow, when you fought the things that are inside, when you've asked the question, what am I going through inside? Because the inside controls the outside. So when
Yeah,
we spend a lot of time trying to make believe, trying to make people think I'm fine on the outside, if that same amount of time and energy is spent on the inside, you will not need to do too much on the outside because it would catch up. It will.
it will glow out.
Yeah, it will. It absolutely will. And this is really what this live again message is really about. It's becoming, one with yourself, becoming one with who God has created you to be, establishing a congruence between who you are on the inside and who you are on the outside, so that you're not living a life that is you're shining on the outside and you're dying on the inside, trying to put up an appearance that is not matching. Because at the end of the day, is what the person is pregnant with that the person will give birth to.
Of course,
So
definitely. What you have in your inside is what you give out. You can't pretend for long.
for
You can't
long,
deceive.
yeah.
You can't deceive people for long. At times, for ladies, we even need to take a peel, take a break from certain things. If you're not doing fine and you can't
Mm,
be on social media, sweethearts, cut it off. You
mm,
can come back when you're ready. There's no room for
yeah,
comparison.
yeah,
Where you're going to is different. Your destination is different from what
yeah,
the other person. Yeah, but we are here, and unfortunately, social media has come to stay.
yeah.
But we need to talk to ourselves. How do we manage it? How do we cope with it?
Mm,
How do we make sure it doesn't dictate our life
mm,
and decide what we believe in and what we don't believe in?
mm,
How do we make sure it doesn't tell us how we show up and how we shouldn't show up?
mm.
Mm. It's
There's a lot there. There's a lot, and it's the governance of self. That's really what I hear you say. The governance of self, the governance of self. There is a government. There is a whole environment within. And if that environment within is not governed properly, oh my goodness, you are going to exist. You cannot live again anywhere, nothing. If you are not able to govern this self, that is the inner you has to be governed, has to be cultivated, has to be watered, has to be, healthy enough to carry where you are going. Stop the comparison
exactly.
already. I believe that the Holy Spirit wanted us to hammer on that comparison thing, because many people have stayed in a spot, have stayed stuck because of comparison. They've stayed existing because of comparison, and they think there's something I always say, that many times human beings undervalue what they have and overvalue
Exactly.
what they
What
don't have,
others?
what others have.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a like a very, very common thing with humans. They tend to look at what they have as small, and the truth of the matter is that God did not give you anything small. There's nothing small that you have. Whatever it is that is in you is big enough to carry you for your destiny. The
Exactly.
problem is your evaluation. your perspective of that thing that you're carrying, comparing it to someone else, you feel like, and I just feel like staying here a bit, because for someone like me who's a multi-potentialite, and reading your profile, you're a lot of things. You know, the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is expected. But I've also realized that those who are not multi-potentialites, in quotes, that have been given one thing, for example, tend to look at multi-potentialites as, God, why is my own like this? It's only one thing. But what I've come to understand with God and vision is that when he gives you one thing, that one thing is actually many things in one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So depending on how you're able to steward it, that's when you see the multiplication or the multiplicity of
Definitely.
that one thing. I mean, so stop underrating and
Stop
undervaluing.
underrating. Yeah, stop underrating the gifts God has given. Stop underrating yourself.
Yeah.
So just run with it.
Wrong with it. Go and start using it, because it's in the using, in the, you know, when you're using it, that it starts to multiply. So if you're not using it and you just sit down existing, saying, hey, she has come, you see only her 40, another
That
one again.
that's where
She
jealousy comes
never.
in. Jealousy
Yeah.
comes in and it weighs you down more. Do you understand? It weighs you
Yeah.
down more, that even that one thing or the gift you think is small, you won't be able to utilize it effectively.
Yes.
Why? Because anytime you see that sister or you see that lady, you like, she has come
She
again.
has come
Do you
again.
understand? So you keep getting yourself depressed, you keep getting yourself suppressed. Also, you keep getting when you have so much power in you, but you've locked it up somehow. At a point, you feel useless. You feel like I don't
Yes.
have anything to give out.
Yes.
But my sister, if you're listening to me, that thing you see as small might be bigger than all what you think I have personally.
Yes.
So
Yes.
start using it.
Start using it. That's where the magic is. The Bible says, to him that has, more will be given. To
Exactly.
him that does not have, that which he has. That is a parable. If you don't have, how would that which you have be taken away from you? It means that you think you don't have,
Yes,
but you
but you
actually
have.
have.
Yeah.
And then because you're not using it, it will be taken away from you.
And
That's when the devil will
giving to
now
the same
reinforce
person
it.
you're saying has too much.
Oh, should we go there? Oh my God! That same person that you're saying, that's because God rewards faithfulness. Stop
Yeah.
all this. This is 2024. God wants you to live again. Stop being the enemy. Stop being the weapon formed against
Against
yourself.
you, yeah.
Leave all those village people for now and focus on the inside. Stop
There's no
being
village
the
people
weapon
anywhere.
fashioned against yourself. When you
I'm telling
second
you.
guess yourself, you doubt yourself, you compare, all those things you're doing, they are recipes for existing. You will not live again like that.
Recipe, yeah.
You will not.
Recipe for
Anyway,
stagnation.
yeah, recipe for stagnation and being in one spot and having a sense of I'm not moving. And you know, like Father Dorotoyo always talks about the channel and the reservoir. And
Yeah.
a reservoir doesn't give out water, you know, and even though it does, there is no channel that is inflow, outflow. There is nothing. He's not giving out. He's just collecting. After a while, that reservoir can begin
Become
to
stagnant
smell.
and sticky.
Yeah, because stagnant water smells. But if you're a channel, you God has given you one thing, and you show up and you show up and you give. Even sometimes you don't even, not even on social media, but people are coming to you and you're doing a lot of work offline,
Yes,
and you just keep using that gift. See, before you know what is happening, you would see yourself multiplying. You know, and I've seen that
exactly.
with the work that God has given me with Live Again. It's only Live Again ahead. That's all ahead. I didn't hear anything else. It's only Live Again. But just look at the things that God has opened up.
You've grown. I knew when you started, so you don't need to tell me.
Like,
You don't need
so
to
that's where I got the
tell me.
analogy that God can give you one thing. One.
Yeah.
But if you're faithful with that one thing, let me just tell you,
He
it will
opened
shock you.
all the doors. He opens doors that you can't even imagine. He opens a lot of doors.
So that word is for someone. Go and take that one thing God has given you. If you really want to live again, everything you need has already been given to you. Go and start using it. Okay. Next question. And this question, anytime I ask it, I know the answer. Because it's like you're asking a rhetorical question, or a question that the answer is already known. Have you ever been knocked down by life? What
Several.
practical steps did you take to bounce back and begin to live again? There's nobody that has not been knocked down, but I just asked this one. Okay, let's just ask. Yeah. What steps did you take to bounce back
For
and live
me,
again?
I won't go into I've joined some of your sections. So for me, I won't go too much. Okay, let me not restrict myself, although there's certain things I won't want to talk about. But for me, I've always had battles. I said I always had battles I had to fight. Um, when I got married, I was thinking in a year or two, I'm going to have a child. I waited for 8 years. And it was a battle for me. I waited for good 8 years to have my daughter. It was really challenging because in the church, you see people that you thought are believers, and they'll come and give you certain idea that you know is not holy. Like they're like, oh, you need to go and see this one, you need to go and see this one. But I always said something. I said, if God cannot do it where I am, because I know I'm in a Bible believing church, if God cannot do it where I am, there's no point running around, going to meet this prophet, going to this prayer home. So if God cannot do it where I am, then there is no point. So for me, that was the start of the battles I have to face. You know, at times when you're growing up as a child, you have your mom, your dad providing everything for you. But as soon as you leave home and you get married, you see there is a different ball game altogether. They are no longer there. They are no longer there for you. It's you and your spouse. And God forbid, in quotes, the spouse becomes wahala.
Wahala
You're then,
dogs. Wahala
yes,
Pro
you're
Max.
you're then on your own. Do you understand? But at the
Yeah.
same time, you need to fight for yourself
You
and
need to
fight for your
fight.
child. I'm here in the UK, I'm here with my daughter. I don't want to go through too many things, but I know what I fought to get to where I am. So let's leave that one. And so after 8 years, she came and we kept living our lives as married women. Let me put it that way. I don't want to say married couples. Let me put it that way. So for me, I'm someone that's not, I would say I'm someone that is not, I don't like being idle. I like to work. Do you understand? So I've always been going out, trying to get something to do, trying to save, trying to invest in my family, trying to do things right. Then at a point, I was working in a company that I thought I was I was putting everything into that company. You understand? So I came back on a vacation, and after a month or two, I found out that I had to leave. You understand? Somewhere you've worked for like 11, 12 years, something you have not planned for. For me, that was like a setback. But there is a way I am. I'm someone that is very emotional. I'm someone that if I allow things get to me, it will just break me down completely. So at times, even when I'm broken, I talk to myself and I like kind of bounce back. Do you understand? Because I know who I am. I know my weaknesses. I know if I allow it, I won't even have the will to do anything. So I always try to talk to myself. So when that happened, I was like, what am I going to do and all that? And I have a terrible shaking in my marriage in 2022, which for me was a big setback. You know, when you have invested so much, I've been married for 21 years. And at a point, you feel, okay, I've worked, I've done this, I've done that. Okay, I'm leaving the company, I'm working. Let me think of the next phase. all of a sudden, maybe the person you feel you can rely on does something that shakes you to your bone, like shakes you, and you now feel, oh, this thing I'm holding on to is like it's not something I should be holding on to, because anytime it can scatter, anytime it can break to pieces. Do you understand? So for me, 2022, June 2022 exactly, was a defining moment for me. If you notice, from June 22 to date, I don't think I've really shown up live. I've been going through several emotions, up and down, trying to get myself together. And when you're broken, when depression sets in, my sister, you won't be able to function.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do anything. Nothing. Even the things you do that you used to appreciate, when you do them, you feel like, it's not good enough. It just seems like you're not good enough, that you don't have anything of value to give to yourself and to anyone. So for me, from June 2022, I was really broken. Why? Because I had a challenge in my marriage. At the same time, someone you have a friend that you feel you can always go to. You have someone that you feel that, oh, if something is happening, I have someone I can talk to. And all of a sudden, for no reason, the person also pulls the plug. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The person pulls that plug, and you then feel you're all alone. So that was, yeah. And at that time, I didn't even remember there was a God. I didn't remember there was a Jesus. Hallelujah. I felt I was all alone. I felt I had no one. I had to go through therapy. That was June 2022. I left Nigeria August 25th, exactly August 25th. So from June 2022, for me, I felt I was just alone with my daughter. Yes, she understood what was happening. Then I just felt I was all alone, because the home I thought I'd built and everything, the devil just came and things just went wrong. Then when I thought I had someone I could call and talk to, the person also pulled the plug. So I was miserable. I was depressed. I thought when you've put your trust in someone, it then feels like if you don't have that person, you're just not, you can't live. This feeling in the inside. I'm not talking about, you feel it right inside.
Yeah.
It's like you can't live, you can't sleep, you can't function, you can't eat.
Yeah.
That was what I went through. That's why I went off. Once in a while, I'll show up on Instagram. Once in a while, I'll say, "Oh, I'm back." But no, I wasn't okay to come back online. That's why I've not shown up for almost 2 years. Remember when you spoke to me, I told you I've not been live for long. That's why I said most times we force ourselves to show up for people when we know we still need to work on ourselves. We still need to heal from situations we have gone through. So how was I able to overcome it? It's still there. When you're spent 20 years investing in it's not something, investing in building a family, and something comes up to destroy what you feel you've been able to build or achieve for that 20 years, is really a big setback.
Can be depressing.
Do you understand? Yes. I don't want to go into details, but I pray one day I'm able to share it. I don't want to go into details, because what happened looks like a Nollywood movie. That kind of thing you see in movies, and you say, no, this can't be real. It can't be real. So, but the important thing about it is I saw the signs, and I prayed. I said, God, I'm leaving soon. I'm traveling. I said, if these signs I'm seeing are real, show it. Let it just show. Let it just come to life. Let me know. And that's what happened. So even though I was depressed, I knew God answered a prayer.
Yes,
I knew
yes, yes.
God wanted to say, my daughter, this is how it is.
Yeah.
My daughter, you're not wrong. This is what is happening. It's no longer hidden. It's no longer a thought. It's no longer an imagination. It's no longer, is this thing happening or is not happening? Is this person being faithful or is not being faithful? God was able to say, my daughter, this is how it is.
Yeah.
So what next?
What next? I've been waiting for that. What next?
So
Yeah.
what next was me moving away. I came here. I was still on therapy. I completed my therapy here online. It wasn't still easy for me, but I then learned to talk to God at any time of the day. Do you understand? I learned
Yeah.
to talk to God at any time of the day. Like I can be feeling so low, and maybe I'm just walking on the road, and I'll just speak. Back in Nigeria, I didn't know God could like answer me, even like when I'm thinking about something. Do you understand? You know, when
Yeah.
you're so comfortable and it's like you're not fighting any battle, you just think it's your power. You just think, do you understand? You just think it's because I have. You just think because you're comfortable. So you're not fighting anything. It's when I came here, I told my daughter, I said, it's like even before I think about something, God has already answered
Already
it.
answered.
Do you understand? So for me, what helped me to come out of it, I'm still is a gradual
Yeah.
process. It's a gradual process. But what has helped me to come out of it, like I can even come up here to talk to you. Because 2 days to the time, the enemy came and like, just tell her that you're busy. Tell her that you can't make it. I said it's a lie. This is from the devil. I told the devil, I said, I'm going to show up life. I'm
Come
going
on.
to start living again.
Yes.
I
Yes.
said, I'm going to show up life. I said, this time you're not going to, because I know how many times people will like, oh, I want you to show up in this, that, that. I was like, okay, okay, okay. At a point, the enemy will come and said, are you properly healed? Can you show up? That you don't have confidence in yourself. What are you showing up for? What do you want to say? What do you want to share? And I'll call them and I'll make a story. I'll like, oh, I'm not able to. Oh, I'm not feeling fine. Or something came up. I'm not able to. But when the devil came this time, 2 days to the live section, I said, you have lost already.
You're failed.
Do you understand? So for me, it's God. And for me, it's recognizing that there is a battle I have to fight. It's recognizing that I need to put myself first.
Yeah.
When I've done everything, I know I've put in everything and it's not working. I then realize I need to put myself first. I then realize I need to take back my power. Do you know that
Yes.
at times, the reason why you feel you can't do without somebody is because you have attached so much value to that person? That's
Yes.
what
Yes.
God told me. That
Yes.
was what was able to make me to break free, that emotionally I'm no longer attached. Emotionally, I no longer cry or feel depressed when I remember the situation. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Told me, God said, is the value you've placed on that person that is making him so important, that is making you feel you can't do without him. And God said, can you strip off the value you've placed on him? Strip it off. Strip off the value you have placed on him. Strip off the value you have placed on your marriage. Strip off the value you have placed on, if they know I'm having challenges in my marriage. Strip off the value you have placed on, oh, I can't leave the marriage because people will say, do you understand? Strip off the value and put that value on yourself. And the moment and the moment I started doing that, I was able to gain freedom. I then looked at him again. I then saw that he has no value. So all the while is because of the value I've
You.
placed on him
Yes.
that made him that made me to feel that without him I can't live.
Yes.
Without him I can't breathe. Without him I can't become who I need to become, who God has destined me to be. Let me shock you. When God created you, when God gave you a gift, he didn't attach you to anyone, did he?
Yes. Yes.
Were you
Now.
were you attached to someone before God
None.
called you?
Even twins
Were you
self, they
attached
don't
to
have the
someone before
attachment to
God
them.
created you?
Yeah.
Were you attached to anything before God called you your name? No, you were not. So at times we place so much value on people, we place so much value on relationship that by the time that person is no longer there, that relationship is no longer there, we stop living.
Yes.
So for me, the one word that has helped me is stripping off the value from my,
That's
stripping off
powerful.
the value I've placed, because exactly it's the value you place on a thing that makes that thing to have control over you. Do you understand? It's
Yeah.
the value you place on something. At times, it might not be someone that is. It might not be human. It might not be a person. It might even be a thing. The reason why you see some of these people that take drugs, they can't do without it because they have placed so much value on
Value.
it. But the
Yeah.
moment, what is their healing process? Their healing process is for them to go to therapy and for them to start. The therapy section includes trying to keep them away from that substance, is it not? That's
Yes.
what the therapy section is. It includes trying to keep them away from the substance, that thing that they feel they can't live without.
Live without.
If the
Yeah.
therapist, yeah, if they're able to keep them away from that substance for a particular period, they become free.
Yes.
They then see that thing they are taking as something that, why was I taking it in the first place? Why was it like I can steal to buy it? So why is it that you can stay for days without eating, crying, and being depressed over someone? It's because you've put so much value on that person.
Value.
My sister, strip that value. I know it's going to be difficult. It's not a one-day thing. You're
Yeah.
going to go through um um different emotions. Do you
Yeah.
understand? But
Yeah.
the moment you're able to completely strip the value of that person, strip the value of that relationship, put it on yourself, sweetheart,
Put
you're
that
worth
value
it a
on
hundred
yourself.
times. You're
Oh
worth
my
it
goodness.
200, 500 times. Put that same value on yourself and you start living again.
Again. Oh my goodness.
You start living again. Does it mean you shouldn't value people? Does it mean you shouldn't value relationships? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But when it has come to the point of choosing, because God called you before you met that person, God
Yeah.
called you before you were in that relationship, God
Yeah.
called you before you were in that situationship, whatever it's called. God called you before you were in that entanglement. So the moment you're able to take back the value, when you say you're taking back your power, you first need to take the value of place on that person before you can take back your power. The moment you're able to
This
take
is a
back the
master
value you've
class.
placed on that person or on that thing that is controlling you, then you've succeeded in taking back your power. Then and only then can you start living again. Then and only then can you start rebuilding. Then and only then can you bounce back and say, okay, day one, I'm going to do this. Day two, I'm going. It's not magic. It's a process, but it
Yeah.
starts
It's
by
not
taking
magic.
the value you have placed. Imagine someone you talk to every day, someone you call every day. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What hits you first is, your system, your body, everything is already used to hearing from that person every day. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when you don't hear from that person the first 1 day, 2 days, it's like you're dying. Why? But now you can stay
Attachment.
for months without hearing. Even when the person calls, you're like, why is this one disturbing me? Because you're taking off the value you place on
On
that
that
person.
person.
So taking back your power starts by stripping whoever it is, of the value you've placed on him or her. If by stripping that situation of the value you've placed
On
on
it.
it, take back the value, then you can have back your power. Then you can start living. Then you can start rebuilding. Even if you're starting from scratch, that's only when you can start rebuilding. If you have not taken the value you've placed on the person, you won't have the willpower to start living again. You will not. I'm telling you from experience, from what I've gone through, you will not have the power to start living again. This is not about you not having money. This is not as if you're broke. No, I wasn't broke. But this is about you picking up the pieces of your life
Of your
and trying
life.
to build again and trying
Again.
to start again. And for women that already have children, like, you need to live again for them.
You
You don't
honestly.
have any option. Like, you don't have any option. You need to just pack the pieces and start living. Do you
Yes.
understand? And start
Yes.
taking care of yourself and start investing. Are you good in business? Start doing it.
Yes.
Will your story transform the life of another? Start sharing it. Do you
Yes. Yes.
understand? Because
Yes.
you need to share to be able to help, to be able to transform the next person.
Yes.
You might not want to go into details. Did I go into any detail? No. But you need to be able to share your story in the way you can to transform the next person. Lots of women are going through a lot.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
women are going through a lot.
A
Like,
lot.
women are going through a
A
lot.
whole
Women
lot.
are going through a lot. Women are going through a lot. I'm not here to talk about gender equality. That's not what I'm trying to, like, women are going through
A
a lot.
lot.
I saw someone before I left Nigeria. I saw a lady that was always happy, always looking good in her Jeep. We have not seen her for some time. When you go to pick your kids in school, there are just some people you become friendly with. We have not seen her for some time. And the next time I saw her, she was looking homeless. She was looking tattered. She was looking unkept. And I had to approach her like, what's happening? Her husband told her to leave the house with her kids, 3 kids, and did not even give her to say, okay, maybe because of the kids, you can go with your car. No, he took everything from her. Like, he left her with nothing, told her to leave with just her bags and her kids. So she was squatting with her sister. Today, when I'm talking to young girls or I'm counseling, I always tell them, you have to work. My daughter is just 14. And I told her, you don't depend on anyone. Work for your money. Work for your money. I'm not against keeping joint accounts. I never did it. Please, I never did it. Even when I just got married and everything was rosy, everything was lovey, everything was going on well. And my husband said we should have a joint account. I said no. I said we can have an account where we contribute for
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 projects.
yeah for projects. Can have an account for certain things where I put a particular set of money you put in. Like, my daughter has an account and I have a standing order to my bank to always transfer a certain amount every month to her. I said we can have that kind of account, but I cannot have a joint account. Do you understand? There was nothing he didn't say. It's not because I was planning for something to go wrong, but I work, I earn money. I should have some money reserved for myself. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I remember when I was about to get married, a date to my wedding. Oh God. A date to my wedding, we had a quarrel, like serious quarrel. My mom was even there. My husband was even charging. As if he wanted to come and beat me. And my mom said, what? In my presence? You want to beat my daughter? And you're getting married to her the next day? What happened? I was adding all the money I was making, everything, like in a purse. Like, we're adding everything, like almost like when you have a joint account.
Yeah.
since we say we are planning the wedding and anything, I didn't even keep anything for my hair, anything to do my nails and everything. So when it got to that point, at that time, now our budget was so. What was I doing there? Was I working there? I was working what kind of work as a graduate that they were paying whether it's 20K, whether they were paying me 20K or 25K. And I served before him, went to the same university, and him, he was a copper. I didn't even tell my mom. I told him, make sure your friends don't come with those your copper show uniform to that wedding. So I didn't even tell my mom about it. So we're not making much. He was serving. So that was small money. You know, by the time I said I want to make my hair and nails, you then see it as if it's not reasonable. But why? Because I was putting everything. I didn't keep anything to myself. Like, I didn't even keep any money. I was just adding everything to that general purse for our wedding. So that was what caused the problem. So my mom then asked me that you mean you don't have any money, like you didn't keep any small change, like at least do your hair. She said, I said no. She said, it's not like that. That you're working, you're adding to the wedding plan. Keep some money aside. That's why there's a problem. Now you wouldn't have asked him because he was tensed, like certain things that have not been done. You wouldn't have asked him, you would have quietly gone to the salon to do your nails and do your hair. Do you understand? So I learned something from that.
Yeah.
Also. So at times, that's what we do as women. We depend so much. And that's the same thing I'm talking about, putting so much value on another
Value.
human. They are not
Oh.
God. They are not God. The only person you can trust totally is
It's
God.
God. And it's the simple truth.
The only person, I'm telling you, somebody can be so nice, somebody can be so good to you. And within a twinkle of an eye, the person changes. You won't, not because you have done anything wrong, not because you're the cause. Something just happened, or the person came in contact with somebody else that influenced him or her. Do you understand? Or whatever. Come, the person you're meeting, the person's destination is also always remember that you're meeting someone that it's a different human being. The person's thought pattern, the person's life, where the person is going to is totally different from where you're going to. So at any point in time, there might be a bridge, and the person will like, I need to go right, and you need to go left. Or the person might say, I've met somebody else, and that person is the person that will lead me to the end of my chapter. So you need to continue alone from there. That's why I said you need to strip off the value first. If you're able to strip off the value, it's a process. It's a process. It's not going to be easy. It's going to break you down completely. It's going to make you to feel worthless. It's going to make you to feel useless. It's going to make you to feel you can't live, you can't breathe. It's going to make you to feel you can't live again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't go on living without being in that relationship. I don't know. Do you know Coach Jules? Coach
I've heard the
Jules.
name. From, is it
Okay.
NBT, an NBT person?
Yes,
Yeah, I've heard
yes. One
the
of the
name from NBT.
judges.